We're also following the new developments. This is the case of the intelligence leaker Edward Snowden. While Attorney General Eric Holder, he now says that Snowden's request for temporary asylum in Russia is without merit.
Another development. Snowden's father, meanwhile, defending his son's actions. In an interview on NBC's Today Show, he said Snowden's conscience is clear, and he took aim at lawmakers and intelligence officials.
I believe that my son, when he takes his final breath, whether it's today or 100 years from now, he will be comfortable with what he did because he did what he knew was right. He shared the truth with the American people. What we choose to do with it is up to us as a people. Are we going to listen to folks like Mike Rogers and Dianne Feinstein who say, trust us, when we still have someone like James Clapper who lied to Congress? He's still being paid. He's still serving this country. He works directly for the President of the United States. We have much work to do. This story is far from done.
And Joe Johns is live with us from our DC bureau. Joe, let's talk about the comments by the Attorney General on Snowden's asylum request. He wrote that letter to Russian authorities challenging the request. Why does he say it's without merit, and what are the chances he'll be listened to?
Yeah, you know, this is very tricky. It's about public relations. It's about optics between the United States and Russia, just a whole host of things. The Attorney General, Michael, wrote this letter to the Russian Minister of Justice confirming that Edward Snowden is not going to face the death penalty. He's not going to be tortured if he's returned to the United States to stand trial. Now, for those of us in the United States, this is a no-brainer. The U.S. Essentially has never suggested any of those things would happen. Snowden, of course, has, and the Attorney General himself felt it necessary to put all of this down on paper. The letter essentially states what we already know to be fact, that the charges against Snowden are not death penalty eligible at all, and of course that torture is illegal in the United States, and that if Snowden were returned to the United States, he'd be tried in a regular civilian federal court. The importance of this is that Snowden has applied for temporary asylum in Russia on grounds that he might be tortured, subject to the death penalty. Holder says the assurances he has now given in this letter essentially eliminate Snowden's claim that he should be treated essentially as a refugee. Michael?
So, Joe, what do we know about the status of his asylum request? Are there any talks, back channels that are going on regarding this application?
Well, you can assume that there's some kind of conversation at least, but reports coming out of Russia today suggest that he could remain at the airport for as long as 6 months. And I mean, that's also been talked about in the diplomatic corps here in Washington, D.C. as well. So it sounds like a case of limbo for Edward Snowden, at least for now. Suzanne.
All right, Joe Johns, thank you very much.